Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome again to the iHealth channel, iHealth Radio. Um, the mission of our channel here is special and specific to the point where it's about education, inspiration, motivation, and enlightenment. And one of the topics that's dear to my heart, and I love it, and I try to stay, on that subject matter all the time through my daily activities and so on and so forth at work, around my folks and my friends, is about motivation and staying positive. And so today's show is going to be about let's dream big. And I think one of the first shows I had was about some people dream of success and others basically wake up and work at it. And the whole idea was about like how to take a dream and really make it a reality, right?
Mhm.
And so today, I have a special guest who actually does that, who's done that, who works towards making things happen.
Mhm.
And of course, he's going to do all the introductions about all his work and his different project that he's on. I mean, he's pretty much known in a lot of areas. First, he's an educator. Also, he is an artist. He has his own podcast and so many other things that he'll talk about right now. But the key here is, really, we got to have a nice open discussion about
Mhm.
motivation, about how to, inspire yourself, inspire your friends, and keep positive and take it to the next level. If you have ideas, if you have whatever it takes, don't just talk about it, take action, right?
Mhm.
And that's it. There's no such thing as a big dream or like
Right.
dream it, dream big. What's what's
Right.
what's the worst part, right?
Right.
So with that being said, I'd like to introduce the one and the only
Yes.
Kareem Tyson, aka Reemo, and he will
Hey.
tell us about everything else. So we'll call you Reemo today or
Yeah.
Kareem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one?
Hey, that's good. Nah, that's. Hey, listen, man. I'm at a point in my career, man, where I used to be real sensitive about that because I was coming into this game, so I used to be real sensitive about my name and stuff like that. Right now, like it's right now in the times we're in, like even little things like that per se, right? It's like if you do, all it takes is either correcting or you don't. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, this is Kareem Remo Tyson. Formerly known as Remo Marak. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I'm,
the
um,
one.
I dropped the Marak only because with me coming back into acting and really taking things to another level, with my brand. I still keep Marak every now and then, but it's different things now. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely, it's an honor being on your show. I'm glad it finally happened because I was supposed to be on here before, but unfortunately, as you stated, that I was stuck in one of the many projects that I do and stuff like that. So, but nonetheless, I'm definitely, as I text you, I did text the man, and I really said we're gonna get this done tonight. So, definitely
And
glad to be here.
listen, it's always, things happen. It's part of life.
Right.
And we planned this last year, technically. And it wasn't meant to be in 2020. So 2021, here we go. And
Right.
and
Right.
hopefully, obviously, New York comes in with all the success and better health, better,
Right.
the world maybe in a better place. And that's key. So,
Right.
so Kareem, Remo,
Right.
I know there's
Right.
also the chef Remo.
Yeah.
What is
Right.
that all about?
All right. So pretty much that kind of started like a little bit. I created that around last year, right? A little bit around last year. What it was it was kind of like a thing, like a couple of people saying like, "Yo, Remo, you always cooking something up," meaning, with my creativity and what I do and with videography and stuff like that, or the content that I was creating and stuff. So, and also too, I'm a Steph Curry fan. You know what I'm saying? So, they call him, Chef Curry. So I kind of started thinking, I was like, let me see
All right.
something. So shout out to Fiverr. I went to a Fiverr designer, right? And he drew up,
Love those guys.
yeah, he drew up a logo for me. I mean, that I should have put the logo on here, but it's
I
fine.
saw that. I saw with the
Yeah.
hat
I
and
mean, you
everything.
know what? Let me do it real quick. We're gonna do it real
Yeah, yeah,
quick.
yeah. Please go ahead.
So this is one of the logos, as you can see behind me.
Yep.
There's another one that I have. It's with me with a chef hat. So this one right here is kind of like the one I kind of push more because it kind of it resonates of, okay, yeah, with the podcasting, podcasting in my hand, you know what I'm saying? People associate me with, me being a podcaster, me being an entertainer and everything like that. So that it right there, that logo right there resembles everything. Like I wear shades sometimes, I wear my hat, my beard right now
Looking
is a
good,
little
baby.
lighter.
Looking good.
It's a little lighter than it normally is. It's normally thicker, but just overall, I'm just blessed. At the end of the day,
Thank God.
been doing this since like 2006. You know what I'm saying? Going through trials and tribulations of what I do, but I love what I do. I love what I create. I love what I contribute. To the industry and what it's done for me thus far, and what avenues it's open for me. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing else less to do but to continue opening other doors and everything like that. And just blessed for whomever allows me to tell my story.
Well, listen, you're here and would like to hear more about it
Yes,
and
definitely.
a little bit of background. So I know you have a day job, which is your education stuff,
Yes, yes,
Department of Education, and then
yes,
you have your podcast, which is,
yes.
is
The
it
Remo
Cuts?
Marak, yeah, the Remo Marak, and my one-to-one interview-based podcast was called Cuts, and
What
the
does that
cut
stand for?
a cut stands for culture, urban, technology, and sports. So I speak to figures underneath that, today's figures that are underneath the acronym, and we have a conversation, but also too they really express about their story to my growing fan base, which is with whom I call my creatives. So
Nice.
with my creatives, it's like a demographic, you could say, between about about 13, maybe you say even say 10 years old to about oldest, like 30, 35. That's the demographic I aim for, to really like get them to understand, like, hey, these are people that were just like you, in your positions, and they really manifested their dreams to reality. So, and also too, every now and then I'll chime in and I'll say certain tidbits about my career, of certain things that I did and I went through. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
that's
again, you're a role model. You're trying to get people to see, that there is a lot of things, a lot of ways, a lot of good paths, and
yeah,
where people can make moves and succeed. And obviously, some of those guests, kind of depict that image. Like, they've been through things, but now they're there. And
right,
you personally, I mean, you've done a lot of things, and you are. Well, I mean, you'll tell us more, obviously, but
right.
I'd like to hear more about, obviously the podcast itself and
Okay.
the program, the motivation piece to it, because again, we're
Mhm.
trying to focus today on how to get youth or folks in general to have their dreams and to go after them and not let anyone tell them otherwise. Well, no matter what, if you think of something and don't always look like, well, the word sucks. There's nothing going on here. I can succeed. You can, and
Mhm.
there are a lot of ways to do it, legally, compliantly, you name it, right?
Mhm.
And if you have ambition, you have a vision, you can pursue it, no matter what. If
Right.
you want to be in acting, you can be acting, and we're gonna talk about that. That's you right
Right.
now.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, we
if,
can.
if
Yes, we
if you want
can.
to sing and you got a good voice, hey, why not?
Well, that's the only of the jack of trades. The singing and rapping is what I can't do. or
Well,
play or
listen,
play or play instruments. That's what I can't
hey,
do. I'll admit to
dude,
that.
I would never even attempt with that. that ain't me, man. That's not gonna happen here. But again, there are people that's what they want and they can do it. I mean, they're
Right.
talented and
Right.
they don't know where to start, how to do
Right.
it, how to go about it. Sometimes
Right.
just hearing the fact that yes, you can do it,
Right.
and and maybe point them in the right direction and they can get there.
No,
So that
correct.
that is a big deal.
Yes.
So
Yes, you
so
did.
so let's talk about your story. Like, how did you all you got to the point where you are today? I know it's
Oh
gonna be a lot.
yeah, come on, H. I didn't think we was gonna do ancient history time. I thought he was doing the interview
We
right
can
now.
do it
I'm
the
joking with
concise version.
you. No, I'm joking with you though. Now pretty much. Honestly, here's the funny thing. I started as a late bloomer, believe it or not. In its sense, I was about 26 when I started. So, long
Was
story
it
short,
last year?
nah, I know, right?
You're
I
looking
wish,
good.
I wish. Hey, thank you, man. I wish it was last year. But no, pretty much, I was at a house party in Harlem, right? And there were some creatives there and stuff like that, actors and stuff like that, or videographers and stuff like that. It was one of those type of parties. So I guess as I'm talking to ladies and I'm entertaining and I'm, being animated and all this other stuff, there was a young man that kind of looked like Lupe Fiasco, right? It wasn't Lupe, but he looked like Lupe Fiasco.
Look
So
like.
him and I were chopping it up in the kitchen, and he tells me about Central Casting. Now that's one of the main agencies in New York, casting agencies in New York. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, wow, really? What do I have to do? I asked him all these questions. He's telling me, he's like, yo, this is how I got my break. I went here. I was a background actor first, then everything else, and then I became on commercials and everything like that. I was like, oh wow, this is okay, So, long story short, I took off of work from my not my day job of teaching. I wasn't in teaching yet. I was working at a high fashion women's store in Soho.
Right.
I I said, hey, I'm taking the day off. I wasn't happy with the job anyway. So I just said, the hell with it. Let me go achieve my dreams. You know what I'm saying? Went downtown, went upstairs. I think it's still over there by 31st Street. I'm not too 31st and 6th. I believe it's still there. Went up the elevator. The fee was
Been there.
small. Yeah, the fee was small. It was like $25 just to take the photo and whatever and be in a pool. I'd say, hey, listen, I done spent $25 on worse. So
That's actually cheap for a nice little, portfolio picture that they can use for the casting
right.
stuff.
So I was like, okay, and I'm not gonna lie, literally like about 2 weeks after I applied and they took the picture and everything, I was doing background acting work in Law and Order SVU. So that was the
I'm gonna
first.
look for you now.
I know, right? That was a
Oh,
long time ago. I don't know if they have that up still. That was oof. That was
Netflix. Yeah, let's see.
Netflix, yeah, YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, YouTube definitely.
Right, for sure.
Well, a
Then,
lot of actors started as background, cast. I mean, they just
right,
basically, extras and make. Listen, I did have. I could tell you this. I did actually go on a movie that was a feature movie as an
nice,
extra myself, and this was
nice.
like in '96, I think.
Okay.
Actually, with Denzel Washington, believe it or not.
Oh wow.
Yes,
Okay, that
you know,
experience must have been dope. That must have been a
awesome. I
dope
mean, the guy
experience.
is awesome. I mean, I kind of talked to him just lightly, hi, how you doing, that kind of thing. But he's great on the set, man. And that
Right.
wasn't for me. I tried a lot of things. That's not what I am, in terms of my path. But a couple of friends said, hey, there's this movie that they want extras. Like, okay, I mean, so we
Right.
were there for 3 days, and we did. I experienced directorship, production, the whole nine. I mean, it was massive. I mean,
Isn't
the
that
movie
great?
was The Siege. The movie was The Siege,
Okay,
with
nice,
Denzel and Bruce Willis. So that was a
nice.
big hit then, and so we were just the extras, but it was a great experience. So to your point, I mean. Uh, Going into something like that is great, and I've seen a lot of people that continue in that path, and they make it.
Right.
You got to keep at it. You get your SAG card, and now you're official. I
Right.
never made it though.
Man, I didn't know. I'm still an independent actor. So I mean, I am aiming to work towards that, but in the same token, I'm okay with being an independent actor for now. You know what I'm saying? There have been other projects I've worked on that have been, to feature. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's a thrilling getting back. But back to the background story at hand. Yeah, I was working at it for a while, but then I hit a slow point, like around 2010. Like I had like 2006 to 2010, I was in a lot of featured stuff, right?
Good.
Then 2010, oh man, it was like a real drought, right? And I'm not gonna lie, it led me to like a real heavy depression state. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess at the time I wasn't really understanding the business yet. I was just happy that I was there. And I'm not gonna lie, I got real depressed because I felt that I let people down, but that wasn't the case. But I guess the anxiety with me, plus with the fact of what I was aiming for, it just felt like it couldn't happen. And and what I want to say and mention is, you know, when you come into this industry, you got to understand the business. End all be all. That's super facts. You really got to understand the business. once you understand the business, things become better for you to maneuver. You know what I'm saying? So definitely after the with the whole depression, it was leading to like drinking binges. It was leading to, suicidal thoughts and suicidal attempts.
So it affected your mind, your body, your health, the whole world.
Yeah.
But the good news is you're here today and you never
Right.
gave up. You made it.
Right. And I'm gonna get to that. So it was about like 2010, 2011 was like my last suicidal attempt, which was crazy. I just cried it out. I called a good friend of mine. We went to BBQs, and around that time, like, social media wasn't as high. It wasn't as like potent as it is now, right? Somebody would have took a video, a photo, like, oh my god. But I literally I poured my tears out. You know what I'm saying? I poured my tears out tremendously.
It's a good exercise. Let it out.
Yeah, and what it was that I was letting out of the anger and the feeling and appeasing people and everything of that magnitude. And I just said, yo, man, like, honestly, like, I got to get it together. You know what I'm saying? I got to get it. I got to get right. I got to, just be focused. You know what I'm saying? And what I want to say is, before I say I'll put the disclaimer out. What I express, I don't want nobody to feel that's the right thing to do. So what I did was I just eased back from everybody. Now, yes, should I have went and go see help, or for that matter, tap in spiritually, in a sense? Yes, but at the time, I was comfortable with, let me ease back from everybody. Let me do the best I can to self-help myself before I go to somebody else for help, right? So I was, I just eased back from, family, friends, even industry wise. Like I just said, hold on, let me figure this out. During that time, I was just really working on my self-love. I was working on my bounce back ability. I was working on just a lot of things, and then with the brand too, I was really like, all right, how else are we going to make this happen? How else are we going to, do things? What else can we do besides acting? So then 2012 comes, and, God was on my side with this, and my homegirls, they were at a streaming media station in the Bronx called the Matrix Studios Network, right? So they hit me up, like, Reemo,
coming up.
I don't know. I think I think you could be a co-host. Be a guest co-host on our show.
Nice.
You're animated, you're funny. You do whatever. I think you should be on the show. And at first, I was like, I was like, you know what?
Not clear.
Yeah, I was like, the hell with it, right? Go up to the Bronx. It was a long trip. I was living in Harlem, but that part of the Bronx it was like way deep up top and stuff like that. So I went, and I'm not gonna lie, from there I was being a guest co-host, but then also too I would stay at other shows and look at their shows. You know what I'm saying? Because I was getting the bug. I was like, you know what? I think I could host my own show, right?
It's fun stuff.
Yeah. So then, this is me getting into hip hop media and stuff like that. 3 years later, 2015, I decided to do my own show. I'm still studying other shows. People are looking at me kind of crazy. They think I'm the a ratings guy, or I'm a guy that's that's working for the boss, and I'm gonna let them know about their show if they're doing it. Well, it was a lot of things, but then when they seen I got on the mic, see, they didn't understand. They was like, all right, like, who am I, right? That's just the norm. Like, when you're the new guy in media, or you're new guy in entertainment, they just assume who you are. Like, oh, you're just this, oh, you're that, or whatever. And I ain't gonna front. I gets to the mic and I go, let the Ruger spray, like that. And everybody's like, wait a minute.
All right.
Like, wait, hold on. Wait, you're not nervous on this mic? You're not You're not nervous or you're shaking all right. But here's the other thing too. My first show that I did, that I hosted, when I hosted my own show, I was late for it. I was tremendously late for it. I'm talking like I was like 25 minutes late for my own show. It was bad. Thank God I didn't have any guests. Oh my God, it was bad, bro. It was bad, bro.
Listen, when you initiate anything, it sometimes you get little bleeps, you, things happen, right? You got to
Right.
get your deck, but again, it's part of the lesson, and you
Oh
came
my
through it.
God.
That's
It
it.
set my routine so much. It's not even funny. Like I don't even try to be. I don't listen. I don't do that late shit. I like nah. You know what I'm saying? I'm so in tune, like you know. But yeah, nah. From there, I'm gonna say from 2015, 2016, I just went on like a tremendous like streak. Like I really was showing my face and literally being at like damn near like every event, mainstream to independent. Like you saw Reemo Marac at your event, right? And just doing it, like soaking it in. I'm like, oh, all right, and then fast forward, one of my babies, one of my platforms, Reem TV, in 2016, it got accepted at a public access network in Manhattan called Manhattan Neighborhood Network. And they air through Spectrum. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I had a show. My platform that I created and grew for years.
Now,
Now it's
yep,
on cable. It was on cable. I was like, oh shit, okay.
that's good.
And from there, at Manhattan Neighborhood Network is where I learned my production skills as far as like being behind the camera, filming, editing. I'm licensed. I'm certified. I'm a certified field videographer and certified editor.
Well, you do that now, right? I mean, I've seen
Yeah, I
some
still do
clips,
that
some
now.
stuff. No,
Yeah,
but
I
I've
still
seen
do that.
some footage of you
Yeah,
doing some fun stuff.
yeah. Yeah, no, you know what I'm saying? So I still do that now. That's still part of my brand and everything. And then from there, it just transcended to more opportunities. The people were like, oh my God, wow, Reemo, you not only are you a media personality, but also too, you can produce your production, you can direct, you could, and fast forward to 2017, where pretty much after like 10 years, I'm about pretty much, yeah, 10 years in. 2017 is like 10, 11 years in,
Yep.
right? I win my first award. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the pivotal moments in my career. You know what I'm saying? That I won an award.
Well, let's
You
pause
know,
there for a minute.
huh?
So let's pause for a second. I mean, we
Yeah,
talked about how it was so a depression mode and a bad time, and then fast forward in time, you didn't give up, you maintained, you were motivated to succeed,
right.
and that is actually where you feel the fruits of your patience and determination and perseverance,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Mm-hmm.
did get there, and
Mm-hmm.
that is exactly, I think, one of the key messages that we want to maybe
Right.
share today is that you can get there.
Oh
And
yeah, my
yes, there will be hurdles. There will be, a lot of
hurdles.
issues.
I mean,
It's not going to
nose.
be, because people think right now that it's like you want something that's going to happen overnight. Like, hey, especially the young folks, right? Unfortunately, there's that whole feeling like, you know what, the world owes me. I'm just going to get started and I'm done. I mean, there's a lot of talent out there and it's
Yeah.
not easy to make your way in. And
No, it's
it's
not.
important that I want to just to pause on that for a second because I think that's a
Okay.
very cool piece there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm glad you said perseverance. Like one of my main slogans is perseverance is real. And the reason why I always say that and always push that is because, I persevered in my life. You know what I'm saying? As you stated before that, I'm here now. I was 10 years ago, I wasn't slated to be here. You know, I tried to end my life off of anxieties and feeling that I let people down. And that's not what it was. The only person I was letting down was myself. You know what I'm saying? To those out there that are listening, like, you gotta just do it. Do it, put your 10 toes down, look forward, don't always look back. Don't, constantly think in your head. You know what I'm saying? Don't put bad thoughts in your head that's gonna stop you from what you feel is something that you're able to do. With me, one thing for sure, one thing for sure, two things for certain. I don't allow nobody to put me in no damn box. That's just real talk. I don't.
There is
I don't.
no box.
Yeah, there is no box. I don't allow.
That's right.
I don't allow it. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody knows your story but you. That's
And no one can promote you more than you. And
nobody can
that's
promote you more than you. Nobody could, navigate this world but you. And when you start believing in that and have that belief system, and as well as believe in God,
Amen.
what I'm saying, you gotta really, be tuned in and really do that. And also to, understand that in this industry you're gonna get no's. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get no's, you're gonna get yeses, you're gonna get fake no's, you're gonna get fake yeses. You just gotta,
Promises.
yeah, promises and everything. And you just gotta know how to maneuver. Just like Bruce Lee said, move like water or be like water. You know what I'm saying?
We
You
can
gotta
have a
be
whole
like water.
conversation about the martial arts stuff.
Be like water. You know what I'm saying? Like you really gotta, flow in with whatever you want to build your niche or build your focus as. Like that's just
A river doesn't stop. It finds its way around whatever rock and it just continues. So, I mean,
yeah,
definitely, that's a
seriously.
perfect analogy right there.
Yeah, seriously. And we're in a time right now, being a creative, it's a dope time. It's a dope time because you got ample amount of time to really manifest and create, what you want for your brand to be. You know what I'm saying? You could, like right now, right? H is recording his podcast right now in his platform right now.
Yes.
You didn't wait. You didn't go, oh my God, woe is me. Should I record? Should I not record? No, you're doing it now. Right?
The only way to do things is to get involved and just do it. I mean, you just said a keyword. Like when I first introduced the show, the program on the channel, I stated that, for me, this was a dream, something I thought about. I wanted to do it. And I just, what? Let's just get involved. I mean, was it easy? No, I mean, you got to put things, you got to learn. And it takes its time, and you have to allow the time. And
Right.
you doing it, and eventually, slowly but surely, you see the fruits. And I'm happy I'm meeting people, I'm getting good interactions. And that's the key. It's gotta get there for whoever's listening, watching, and a lot of people are doing this. I mean, some are doing YouTube, some are doing different things. Podcast is huge, you know, but you gotta
Yeah.
be out there. You want it, you have what it
You have
takes.
to get it.
Go for it.
You have to get it. At the end of the day, as of late, there's a hashtag I've been using, and I told a young artist this when he wanted to come to me about working with the label I'm with, right? I let him know. I said, dude, just because you send me a link to your music, it doesn't mean that's enough. I said, dude, you should want to stand out and not stand in. So that's been a hashtag I've been pushing as late because
I like that.
we have to understand like everybody that does this they're doing it by a million. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have to have that mentality. Look, there's people that do our work by a million. There's a million
Of us.
podcasters
I know.
and media personalities and a million A&Rs, a million actors, a million, entertainers and everything I imagine. Like, how are you standing out?
You gotta have your signature. That's right.
There's a million videographers. How are you standing out? And that's the one thing with me. I always focus on, standing out, versus standing in, and even look, let's even take it with last year, right? Thank God with my consistency of whom I am and as well as the relationships I built, I could have been really screwed over with COVID and not even be on this computer that I'm here talking with you on this interview. Good friend of mine, and as well as he's known in the industry for his filmmaking and stuff. He gave me his Mac desktop beginning of this pandemic. Like I was screwed. I was doing things on my iPad and my iPhone. you know. And I was doing it for a magazine at the time. I was doing the content because I have my own column in the magazine, and I'm doing these things on an iPhone and an iPad. I'm video and editing and all that on me. And I was like, well, He was like, yo, bro, you can't. You're too talented. Here, I'm gonna give you my iMac desktop. That's not only God driven, but dude, that's when you're consistent and you build a great relationship within your career, what you do with people. You know, when you're creative and you're coming into space, or you're entertainer coming into the space, either or, you really got to work on the consistency and you really got to work on the relationships.
Well,
If
networking, I mean, it's
networking
key.
alone,
Yeah,
if
I
you
mean, we
don't,
had the
then
last show we had, we talked about it. I mean, it's big. And in this industry specifically,
oh my
especially if
God.
you want to be an artist or
Ugh.
movies, whatever, it's and even the guy that like the previous guest, he mentioned about you don't get anywhere in a career path unless I mean, there's 80% of people, more or less,
Mhm.
need to know someone to get some somewhere. Facts, so networking is the way to go. And so I from this platform, I salute him and in his message, and this is consistent with what he's saying. It's about the network.
It's about the
And
networking, man. It's about the networking. It's about the consistency, and it's about you understanding the industry that you're in. The fame, the followers, the clout, the fancy luxury shit. That's all going to be there. That's in due time. But if you focus on the
keyword.
three, if you focus on the three things that I just mentioned, trust me, you go far. Like I'll admit it on your show. My numbers are low. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You would think, with whom I am, whatever, the numbers should be high, but no, my numbers are low. I still work on my marketing. I still work on my content and stuff like that. But it's the relationships that I built. It's whom I know. It's the consistency of when people call me to do things, to film and do videography and everything of that magnitude, or even for the projects that I act on. It's the consistency. Even if I don't do a great audition, or I do a great audition, right? It's still the consistency. It's Reemo, you know what? Granted, you're not getting the main role, but we got a role for you. We need your energy on this project. That's just what it is. You know.
Well, it's so practice. You got to be in it to win it, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
You just said. I mean, consistency is the key. But the fact of the matter is, yes. So we're not always at our best. There are days where you're down, and your
Right.
performance may not be to the best. And even the biggest actors out there, you watch some movies and they were not really hot, and then some movies they were extremely like super. I mean, they just do a terrific job, right? So it
Right.
all depends on how you look at things. But everyone does have bad times and bad days, and to your
Right.
point, even auditions, you can go and audition. Uh,
Mhm.
you do presentations. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. I mean, and you know that. But again, don't give up. You move on, you learn next, and you keep
Right.
at it and you keep improving.
Right.
That's it.
Right. It's straight up down. And also too, man, you know, it's okay to take a break and ease back so you don't be overburned. You know what I'm saying? In this industry, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be overwhelmed. You know, it's great to take it, heave in things and understand it, but then also it's okay to take a break. Not a long break, but just take a break to be, okay. For
Little
me on the
breather.
other hand, I don't know how I do things as day job educator after 2, 3 o'clock. I'm Kareem Reemo Tyson, right? So, I gotta say it's just the love in what I do, period. You
Well,
know,
well,
I love
that's a
what I
key. That's a key element you just said. It's you have the drive and you love what you do. And again, one of the topics we discussed last time is if you're not doing what you really love, you're not going to be very happy. When you do
no, you're not
something that you love, you're going to do it with passion and you're going to do it right and you're going to enjoy it. And that's what makes things, different for people. Sometimes they don't do what they like or they love. They just do something because they have no choice. We always
right,
have a choice.
right.
So,
By far. So the choices, especially in this era, like the way technology is and everything, the choices are there. You just have to take advantage of the choices, take advantage of the opportunity, and just go. You
that's it.
know, yeah,
So
definitely.
so we were at 2017,
Okay. Yes, I was.
and you get the award. How did
Yeah.
that
So,
feel?
oh my God, like that night, I don't know. It felt different that night. It was at the Hip Hop Film Festival. Um, I won the award via another sub summit called the Urban Web Summit, where they allowed you to bring your content, on. And at the time, my publicist at the time, her name was Christina Wu. When she was working with me, and then she saw my show, she was like, "You never put your stuff in film festivals?" Now, I wanted to at the time, but I never really believed in it because there was a lot of horror stories I heard about it. Like they take you got your money taken, and then they don't really present your project, and and all this other stuff. But she convinced me to it. She's like, no, the Hip Hop Film Festival needs to see Reem TV.
Work.
Right. They need to see your work. They need to see Reem TV. And I was all right, cool. She gave me the information. I paid what I paid. And it was here in my hometown in Harlem. Right. So it was my life in full circle happening. Right. So I go to the film festival. It was dope. The way they did it, it was dope. You've seen a lot of things with the hip hop culture and hip hop. Seen a lot of creatives and people in media, and I was like, oh wow, I'm feeling something, right? So busted. Me and my partner Bo, shout out to Bo Freshman, you know what I'm saying? He was one of the cameramen for my TV show with Reem TV and stuff like that. He definitely was around when and so bet. So it was that night. The Urban Web Summit. It was that night. You had to, you presented your project. They brought me to the stage when it came to my project, and I had a great Q&A with the people in the crowd and everything. You know what I'm saying? Engaging, talking with them. They're really sensing my passion about why I do what I do with my platform. And end of the night, they were about to announce, the awards, right? Now, I'm anxious, but I'm not, because I'm like in my head, I'm like, all right, I don't think I mean I know people were loving what I was talking about, but I don't think I'm gonna leave out with an award, right? And it's not to say doubt, but I was being realistic. So I wouldn't be as let down, right?
You set the expectations, like just in
Right.
case.
Yeah, right. So I'm not gonna lie, yo, it was like the Audience Choice Award. And I just was like,
Wow.
okay, so, and they called my name. They called the show's name. I was like, what? I said, nah, because you have to understand coming into this game, when you create something of your own and it's like a long time, like, years, you worked on it and worked on it, an accolade of such, it really becomes endearing to you because of what you went through. And then me, of what I went through with my career. And, I damn near try to end my life for my career and everything. And I'm not gonna lie, when I got the award, like I literally like cried in my arms, because it was like, wow, like regardless of the level of the festival or whatever thereof, it's still people cared and still people put a vote in and nominated me and voted and I won.
But you did the work.
Right, I did the
You made
work.
it happen. You put
Right,
it together. You went to the end of the line and you put your stuff in. And even if you didn't have the award, you had the experience. That's
yeah,
in
right,
itself a success. When
right.
you were there, I mean, a lot of even the big stars, you go to these awards and they get nominated, but only a couple get picked up. For every category, it's usually one, and so they're not feeling upset. I mean, well, they're nominees, and that's great. That's already like even in the movies they say nominee so and so, and that's actually a big deal. Now, when you get the award, that's the ultimate. It's like having the gold medal and the silver medal. But I'll take any medal. I mean, ultimately, gold is the ultimate target, but
Right,
it is an achievement, and the next one should be better, and it
right,
keeps you motivated.
right. Yeah, nah, definitely. Just overall, it was just like the feeling was just so dope. And you seen a couple of my peers that were there and they came up to me like, oh my God, Reemo, this is crazy. Like, Reemo, this is dope. like, wow, I'm in a room and I witnessed it, and it really started to change things for me because now I just like more so like it really made me center my energy. I was like, all right, I really got to focus more on being behind the scenes and creating, content and creating TV shows and films and stuff like that. So that's what started happening. Um, Year after that, a year later, I create my production company, which is called the Marat Brand Productions. You know what I'm saying? It's a brand company, but more so, um, it was more of a liaison for other videographers, photographers to get work, as well as to for me to like be like the wall breaker for them in a sense, like a
You're the
liaison.
agency.
Yeah. And it was going, like it was going, like, people would ask me for to do jobs, but I couldn't do them because I would have to go out of town. So I would give them to somebody else. I'm like, hey, listen, I got somebody for you that is if just as best like me, if not better. Right? That was always what I would say, but it was honestly,
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
yeah, sure.
and and I would tell people like, look, as long as you compensate them, just compensate them. Trust me, they're going to do a great job. And 9 times out of 10, I mean, there have been a couple of hiccups when that happened, but 9 times out of 10, people have gotten great work, and that added on to the consistency. You know what I'm saying? But also too, people started understanding, like respecting, like, oh wow, Reemo, like you really coming on your own. I put a lot of my platforms under my company, and even with other people, if I work on their platform and they have me produce their shows, you would see my logo. The greatest accomplishment with the company, I became the producer of a Hot 97 show. You know what I'm
So I was going
saying?
to ask you,
With Hip Hop Gamer on
that's, I
We
was
Got
going to
Game.
ask, sorry, I was going to ask you about, that kind of experience. Like, I mean, you've had some real good connections and good presence with some, top-notch people in the
Right,
industry.
right.
Tell us about that.
Oh man, let me tell you, it was funny. Like, shout out to Hip Hop Gamer. You know what I'm saying? Him and I are good friends, and we were friends over video games. And
Nice.
we had connected over PS3. Because I always wanted to play him in Madden. We haven't played Madden against each other yet, but I always wanted to play him in Madden. So, this was like around 2016. Yes, 2016. I go to a guest appearance over in Long Island, right? I forgot the radio show. I know it's in Hempstead. No, not Hempstead. Valley Stream.
That's true. All right.
Um, okay,
Borderline.
yeah. It's in Valley Stream, Long Island, and I walk into the studio. Who do I see? I see Hip Hop Gamer, but now I'm meeting him in person. I said, "Yo," I said,
We're
"Bro,
friends.
yeah." I said, "Yo, bro." I said, "Yo, bro, it's Reemo," and he's like, "Reemo." So I told him my video game name at the time. I think my video game name was Reemo Franchi, right?
Nice.
Right. So he's like, "Oh shit, yo, big dog, yo, what's up? Fun to meet you. Yo, what's going on? Oh shit, this is great. Oh, Stack, this is crazy." We were hyped, and I was talking to him, and we took a photo with each other and all that. So then a year later, he's at the Hip Hop Film Festival again. Same thing. Oh, Stack, yo, big dog, yo, Reemo, yo, what's going on? Yo, this is crazy. So finally, at a Lisa Evers event in Brooklyn, same year, it's 2017. This is like around when Lisa Evers did her town hall meeting in the Brooklyn City Hall in
Yeah.
downtown, downtown Brooklyn,
Yep.
and also it was in link with the Source 360 event, right? So, bust it. Him and I, after the event, we're like really talking about. He's like, "Look, I know you do videography and everything like that. I know you really do it. Yo, we gotta work on something. We really gotta work on something." So here comes 2018. I got into a situation, unfortunately, with the Hip Hop Film Festival in a sense, right? But not really with the Hip Hop Film Festival. It was really with the Urban Web Summit, and I was really upset about it. It really broke my heart. It really, I felt real betrayed. You know, I was angry that night. I was walking home. I walked home. I didn't even want to get on the subway, and I just walked home. I was angry. I had to vent it out and
Get
get
out of the
this,
system.
yeah, get out my system before I do something and make a mistake, right? So, Gamer hits me up. Hip Hop Gamer hits me up. He's like, yo, bro, I really, I apologize you going through that. Listen, man, listen, you a great dude. He's really encouraging me. Like, listen, he said, if you want, I'll help you out. You know what I'm saying? I said, yeah. I said, listen, I'll get, I said, listen, whatever you want to do, let's do it, right? Who am I to be like, whatever, you can't do it. Who am I to do that, right?
It's a good offer, and taking care
Right,
of business is good. Yeah.
right. So lo and behold, he tells me, yo, why don't you be the other producer for my show? And I was like, wait. Yeah,
Is this a joke?
like, no, not really. It's a joke. I was just like, oh, all right, So, what happened is, shout out to my man Hernan. Hernan was H's main producer for the show. He was the one that filmed it and edited the content for the Hot 97 show, right? So then I was the second producer, So let's say H couldn't do it. I would go with Hip Hop Gamer to events, and I ain't gonna lie, we started going to major like red carpet events, major like NBA 2K League. We was going to major movies, movie
Nice.
events like Creed 2. Like Creed 2, we went to the Creed 2 movie premiere, and I did it. I filmed it and everything. That pretty much started cementing things like, oh, wow. Oh, you doing things with Hot 97, Reemo? That's crazy. And I'm still his producer to this day. We have, due to COVID, I think things have slowed down a little bit, but definitely when things kick back up, definitely for sure, get right back on it with him and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it was a blessing. That was definitely on my resume. Like, oh wow. Then I started doing like for DJ Mr. Magic, his car and bike show that he does every year. I got called for media to do that and film content, and I filmed content, and they reposted it on their page and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That was dope. Seeing that and reposted on the page and talked about it in the blog and all that. There was other things too that was happening, and then I was starting to get like interviews with like mainstream entertainers and talent. So things started really kicking in gear, Fast forward to now, 2020, a real hot streak. Oh my God. I think alone with Hip Hop Gamer and myself, we was like on like 6 to 7 back-to-back red carpet events, right? Wow. Really rocking, really rolling. That, and even too, I was confirmed to be one of the main media outlets for South by Southwest on the main media. You know what I'm saying? But then here came COVID.
Well,
right.
COVID did a lot. It put a little bit of a
pause.
A pause for everyone. I mean, unfortunately, right. But I think things are coming back.
Right.
And new year, new beginning. I think we have a good shot at a lot of things were postponed, and everything. I mean, is gonna get restructured and kicked back in gear. Right. So now I know you have some projects already pending. Yes. Working for right now and or pending.
Yes. So I'll get to the 2020. So during that time in 2020, I was really like contemplating about coming back to acting, and the reason being because I felt like within my career, that's like the one thing in my career that I didn't close the chapter properly, right? So it really was like here in the back of my neck, right here.
I got to do this.
back to acting. So, you know, with me, I'm at home and the industry's closed at the moment. I was watching a lot of Netflix. And believe it or not, you would think, you know, with me being in the industry for the time I've been, you would think I would watch Netflix. I never did. I never did until last year. I was going
You
heavy.
had a lot of time ahead. Everybody was home.
Had a lot of time. Where was
I
anybody
know.
going, right? Um, I was watching a lot of Netflix productions, and I was just really
Good.
paying attention to the acting, like Ozarks, Narcos Mexico, Narcos. Um, what's the joint with Chris Hemsworth? Uh, um, is it
Chris.
Expedition? Is it? It's not Expedition. It's Expa.
Expendables?
No, not Expendables. No. Oh my god. I think it's no Extraction. Extraction. It's
Yeah,
like
extract. Yes,
he
that's
was
still
he was
on. I
like a,
mean,
he was like
yeah.
an ex. He was like an ex like
He's
Marine or
in
something like
special
that.
forces.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
special forces, and then he had to go protect the kid and stuff. But that was
Yep.
fire. But I was paying attention to acting, and it was really getting my juices going.
Well, he's
So
good. He's good.
by like second quarter of the year, I really started like hitting up people like, hey, you know, can I, you know, start
What's going
acting,
on?
whatever.
Mhm.
So the one film company called the Downtown Newark Film Club, shout outs to Terrell Perkins and Bam Sutton, they are directors that I know, right? Um, I submitted my sizzle reel, you know,
Nice.
and you know they hit me up and they were asking me, you know, like, yo, you really serious about coming back to acting? And I'm like, yeah. And I told them, I said, listen, all jokes aside, you know, whatever y'all have for me, do not give it to me because I'm Remo Marak. Don't give it to me because of what I built with Remo Marak. I don't want it easy. I want the challenge. You know, I want to go study a role for months in and really land the role and earn the role, right? So here comes the Project Blue Line, which is slated to drop this year, 2021. That's all I can speculate at the moment. But with Blue Line, with my character, you know, my character's name is Lance Adams. You know, I really had to
Become
for
Langston.
that summer. That summer, I was like studying. I was really studying my role. I almost didn't get the role. You know,
Oh,
almost didn't. You know, but that's another story and a half. But what happened was I really put in the work. I really put in the work for the role, and you know, it was great when we shot it. I think we shot it in the fall, and I can't wait for people to see the project. You know, I can't. Shout out to Shanice Rogers. Shout out to Brian Drumhauser. Shout out to Shamaria. Shout out to Vegas. Shout out to Terrell Perkins and Bam Sutton. You know what I'm saying? We really,
the whole crew.
yeah, to the whole crew, like seriously, and honestly, you know, I'm I wasn't the main star of this. You know what I'm saying? I told them, I'm like, look, I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it could have been somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But
Sure.
you know, God, you know, put me in the spot. God put me in the path. God put me on this project. And, you know, I appreciate them for even wanting to be with me despite the rust. But they respected the fact that I really took, you know, hard work and really, you know, practiced this role and really, you know, worked hard on the character. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for people to see that. Shout out to Jamel Johnson. He has a project on the way called Lucci, which I'm gonna be in. I play a prostitute's father. You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna be an interesting role.
Yeah, right. You know, there's another one. I think it's still in productions. It's called PYT. Um,
Okay.
the director's name is, I think it's his name is Dorian or Darian. No, it's Darian. And I feel like the other lady too. She's the executive producer. Oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me. Oh my gosh, shouldn't be forgetting that. But
He'll
nonetheless,
come back.
right. Nonetheless, they, you know, took a chance with me being that I'm coming back into acting and I'm still, you know, rusty with it per se, but I'm still working on my craft. Even setting up to be with the acting coach because I really want this. You know, that's how bad I want this. You know, so definitely with that, definitely shout out to the record label that I'm an A&R with, Worldwide Sound Records. You know, that happened in 2020. You know, shout out to DJ Chase. You know, blessings on that. And just in the music side of things, like I really started having a better understanding with music, you know, being an A&R. You know, just overall, I'm just blessed for what's happening right now. You know, I'm really blessed of, you know, of continuously working on my spirituality and connecting with God. And just overall, it's really just helped my blessings of what's happening so far. So that's why with 2021, you know, when you ask me how I feel, I still feel great with it, regardless of what happened, regardless of the things that was happening already. You know, I'm still eager with it. You know, I'm still refreshed. I'm still ready to go. Just like here with this first week, you know, you got me the first week of the new year, you know, so, you know,
Yeah, well, listen, we waited, we here.
right.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm
New
here.
Year,
That's it.
we start strong. So
Yeah, that's
so
it.
so Remo, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Honestly, 5 years from now, I'm going to speak it to existence. Should be a no name with acting, a no name in the industry with acting. That's super facts. But
Well,
by year 5, it should already be cemented. Oh wow, like Reemo is
so
the shit.
so here so from this platform, I'm actually gonna like hold that, and hopefully we'll have the pleasure to have
No,
have this conversation.
listen. The one thing for me with me always is I never forget those that help me in the process or in the journey. You know, you are a part of the journey. You know, I can never
Appreciate it.
turn my face to you. I'm not working with H on this show. He doesn't deserve. I can never
Ah,
do that.
we'll have plenty. We'll make it work.
No,
Uh,
no, no, no. It's good. No, ain't no will. No, we are going to. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
right.
Period.
Well,
And
well, for our audience right now, this is just a great feeling because you're determined, you have your vision, you have your goal. I think for anyone that puts anything in their mind, the story is actually very deep and there's a lot of moving parts to it. There's ups and downs,
right,
but yet you're still here, you're still determined, and you are doing you're living the dream. You
that's
are
all that matters. I'm
working the
living
dream.
the dream. I'm manifesting it to
That's
make it a
right.
reality.
and,
And
and and you're determined to make it to that level where everybody dreams of. And yes, I mean, is it going to be easy? No, but it will take work. And the
I'm
more
gonna
you
be.
do it, the more you learn.
I'm going to be there. I will be there. I'm
That's right.
speaking into existence. You will definitely be knowing more of Kareem Remo Tyson. That is a fact.
Amen to that. And actually, that's great. So now we're coming to the end of the show. I know you have another show after this. So in terms of just timing, uh, what are like three things that would like to tell the audience and your creatives, in terms of like three things that you want them to take from this and really, implement so they can have, whatever they want in their life.
No, and I appreciate that. Honestly, the first thing, um, always keep your value high. You know, you're gonna come into this industry. There's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna do the best they can to determine what your value is, or try to lower and decrease your value. Don't allow it to happen. Always keep your value high.
Know your
Second,
value.
second, maintain your consistency and understand the business. Always maintain your consistency. Period. Consistency is the currency that gets you far in this industry. Maintaining your integrity keeps you far in this industry. You know, and last but not least, and I said it before, and I said it again, and I'm going to push my slogan: perseverance is real. It is real. It is the realest thing. It is not fake. You know, if you get knocked down 10 times, then go 20 times higher. If you get stopped, then go forward a whole bunch of times. Go infinity forward and beyond. You know, at the end of the day, persevere and know and keep speaking to existence that you will make it here. You know, you
Believe
will make
and
it
never
here.
give up.
Never give up. Never
That's
give
right.
up.
Well, listen, Kareem, Reemo, Chef Reemo, and
Yes.
Lance,
Yeah, Lance, right.
Lance, you know, it was a true pleasure to have you actually on the
Yes,
show.
it was a
And
blessing.
I,
Thank
I
you,
wish
man.
we had more time.
Right,
I know it's
right.
Friday night, and I know you have other,
Oh
business
my
to attend
God.
to.
Oh my
It's
God.
just the beginning of the night.
And I have to go to sleep because I have to do acting tomorrow morning. So I have to.
Okay, we want to make sure that you're nice and fresh for the next item, right? So,
Right.
with that being said, thank you for the accepting the invitation to be on the show, giving us a lot of good vibes, good feedback, positive
Yes,
feedback,
indeed. Yeah,
and
yes, indeed.
motivation.
Yes, indeed. Definitely. For everybody, definitely you can follow me at chef_Reemo. That's my Instagram and that's my Twitter. If you want to follow the acting page, it's at Kareem W. Tyson. That's my acting page. My website, remomarak.com. As you can find all my content, all up to date, the podcast content of both podcasts and everything of my brand. Real
YouTube
talk.
as well.
Huh?
YouTube.
YouTube, yes. YouTube is Cuts Podcast. Is C.U.T.S.podcast. If you go on my website and you click the links, and if you see Cuts Podcast on the top tab of the website, it'll lead you straight to the YouTube. Definitely subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Definitely, I definitely love what I'm doing with that project, and will continue doing so. I love vlogging. Vlogging is dope.
Fun stuff.
It's therapeutic, and the guests I have in the show, they have real stories. They have dope stories. And also too, continue listening to both the Reemo Marak and Cuts podcast. Trust me, I got lots in store. And also too, for 2021, please be on the lookout for the movies that I'm featured in. I guarantee you will not be disappointed.
So here's what we're gonna do. Once those are out, we might have you back, and we'll have a little bit of a fun time about the movie.
Yes, we can.
So I will have the description of all the things that you mentioned on the actual show. So whether it's on YouTube, on the
Yes.
page, on the channel, and on
Yes.
the radio,
Yes.
it will be actually available, so people can actually link in through it directly, and through all my contacts.
Definitely, yes, and everybody, please continue following H. He's really dope. He's really amazing. He has a really great platform, and continue supporting him. At the end of the day, it's all about supporting great content and supporting great people who have great content. And if they're really wanting to be inspiring, they're definitely supported.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yes.
Again, it's all about working with each other and networking and making things happen. So
Yes.
with that being said, Kareem, thank you very much for a great show.
Yes.
For our audience, you're welcome. For our audience, thank you for watching the iHealth channel and listening on iHealth Radio. Hurricane
Yes,
H here with Reemo, the one and the only. And we'll talk soon at the next opportunity. Ciao, ciao.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. All right, now you take care. See you later.